Hi, I'm Bill and I cook stuff. Thanks so much for watching this video. Today I'm going to cook Beef Chow Fun. In Cantonese it's乾炒牛河. Now if you're trying to Google and look it up or actually even tell someone what fun is, it's actually rice noodle or hao fun. I mean, it's rice noodle. So another variation of saying is dry fried beef with rice noodles. That it actually is a direct translation from what it was. I'm actually doing a lot of hand movements, as you can see. It's very distracting. I don't know why. So it's a dish that it's really quick to make. I mean, 10-15 minutes top. The most time-consuming part is the prep time. It can be anywhere from 5 minutes to like 15 minutes. What? And if you really want to soak your noodles, it could be even a whole 20 minutes. But you could do other things, right? You could start with your noodles first, soak them, prep everything else, go ahead and clean up a little bit, and boom. It's been 20 minutes total, and then it literally takes about 3 minutes to cook, like this. So it's a really, well, maybe not that aggressive, but it's really quick and easy. I mean, it sometimes is actually quicker than, like, you know, making a pot of cup of noodles. So if you have some beef lying around, some chives lying around, some green onions lying around, some soy sauce and some white pepper, oh yeah, woo. Maybe I'll start doing that in my videos now. Woo! All right. So again, it's a very really widely eaten food. You can find it in almost every Chinese diner, like literally all across the world. So it's and the variations, of course, the minimal. Some places use, a lot of places actually use onions. This version of it doesn't have onions. I did it on purpose. Porpoise. That reminds me of that movie, Porpoise. It was like a Ben Stiller movie or something. Anyway, hope you enjoy the video. Of course, I'm gonna. The next step is I'll show you the ingredients. Then we'll go into the preparation step by step. Finally, we're going to do the cooking, and then finally is the taste test. Of course, you're going to fast forward to the taste test to see how yummy it is. So yummy, man. So yummy. All right. Well, thank you ahead of time for watching. Thank you very much. And let's move over to the prep area, which is like right here. All right. See you in a minute. Hey everyone, so here I am at the prep area. As you can see, I have the noodles. Now the very first step is actually preparing your noodles. And the reason why we do that is if you're using dry noodles, you'll need to soak. So I do have some quote-unquote fresh noodles I got from the Asian market, but it still requires some soaking. So here I have it cut into slices, if you will, or you know, it'll become a noodle. What I'm going to do first, again, I'm just going to put it all in to this bowl of water, and ta-da, you see that? Boom. So, and just leave it to the side. So that's pretty much what we're gonna do while we prepare for everything else. That's the first step. So you wanna do that. And the next step is actually preparing our marinade and our beef. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here I am with a bowl, and here I have my marinade ingredients. So I have my, what is this? Light soy sauce. I have 2 teaspoons, boom, and I have 2 teaspoons of the cooking oil. All right, oh, excuse me, cooking wine. Yep. And I'm actually gonna save this last. So I have 2 teaspoons of the oil. Okay. And then I'm going to put 4 dashes of white pepper. Okay, I think that's 4. I'm going to take my sugar and actually just take a pinch. So you can sprinkle. Is that a pinch? That's pinch-like. Okay. And then finally, I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of water. Okay. Shroop. Okay. That's in there. And then I'm finally going to put my starch. I have, ooh, gosh, how much starch do I have? You tell me. I have roll call, I have 2 teaspoons of the starch. And all I'm going to do is just mix it up now. And it's like almost like a slurry, but it's a marinade slurry. And mix that. So I'm gonna put the beef in here. So slurries, actually, can't saying slurry. Marinade. Yeah, I don't want to get confused. Otherwise, you're like, well, you told me slurry. It's actual marinade. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. So I pre-mixed it. I'm gonna set this aside. I'm going to grab the beef. Alright, so now I have my beef here. So I have a ½ pound of skirt steak, but you can actually use, actually really any type of softer beef, like a flank, if you like filet, and if it's like sirloin, you can do that. So ½ pound right here. And I just need to slice this, and then we will be on our merry way to, ta-da. So I am gonna have to slice this way, slice it, and then I'm gonna have to slice it against the grain. Okay, so let's do it. There we go. Against the grain, against the grain, against the grain. Okay, and then it's against the grain. Oh man! All right, so the longest part of this dish is actually the preparation part, but the cooking is literally like 3 minutes. It's like completely super fast. Okay, so. You want to make sure the thickness, I have what, is that a 1/4 inch almost? Okay, so there I have it. So it is sliced, and I'm just going to put it right there into the bowl I had earlier with the marinade, and then just mix it. Mix it, mix it, mix it. Get it in there. Give it a, make sure it gets all in there. Get in there. Okay. Wow. That's a lot of beef. All right. So as you can see, you're really gonna mix it about so it gets coats like really all the beef. Okay. And then we're gonna put that aside. Jeez. We're gonna put that aside, and then we're going to prep our veggies, and then finally we'll actually like loosen up our noodles, and then it's time to cook. I mean, wow, even the prep is really fast. Now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, holy moly, that's really fast. That's really fast. Alrighty, okay, so there you have it. It's nice and mixed. Now, you didn't have to do what I did earlier with just combining everything. You could do the beef first, and then just dunk everything into the the beef bowl. That actually might be easier if you don't have these little these tiny dishy things. And yeah, and that's actually how I normally cook. But it makes it really easy if you do have to measure out the portions. Keep in mind, I am going to also pour out 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce and 1 tablespoon of dark soy sauce. I'm going to combine that into one of these mixing bowls, and it's one of the last steps when I'm actually cooking, so I'll just have it set aside so it makes it easier. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is actually clean my board, make sure you keep a hygienic space, and then I will be right back to cut some veggies, the aromatics, if you will. Be right back. Okay, I'm back with a clean cutting board. So my beef is being marinating. It's marinating. I have my noodles soaking, and now it's time for the aromatics and the vegetables. So here I have, what do I have here? I have ginger, I have the green onion, I have chives, Chinese chives, and I have my bean sprouts. So I don't really actually have to do anything for bean sprouts. I took a handful, so if you can see, it's like the size of my hand, I put it in a bowl, so it's about 2 cups if you will. you know, if you like bean sprouts, actually any of these ingredients, you can add more or less to your taste. You know, the great thing about cooking is trial and error, right? So whatever suits you or your family best, or what you like prefer, it works. There's some variation. Okay, so what do we need to do? So I have a clean board and clean, excuse me, and clean, what is this thing? What do you call it? Colander. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use a bowl instead. So, man, I'm all over the place today. All over the place. All right. So, here we go. Here we go. And I actually start with my chives first. So, all I have to do is chop. So, it's 1 to about 3 inches. Boom. And 1, 2, 3, 3 inches. Actually, you might wonder, is like, are there actually chives? So, these are actually chive blossoms, as you can see. Some folks like the flowery part, others don't. I'm actually going to only put a few in and leave the rest to the bottom part of the chives. And there I go into my chive bowl. Ooh, I'm gonna make sure they're actually cut. And boom, boom, and boom, and boom. So you see the chive bowl. Now I already pre-washed everything, so you want to be mindful of that as well. So you want to make sure you have clean vegetables. So here's what we're gonna do with the green onions. I'm actually gonna cut it from the top down. So right here, it's about 2 inches or 2 to 3 inches. Same thing here. So I have what looks like this, and then when I get to this part, what I'm gonna do is carefully slice lengthwise, okay, and then like that, so it opens up, okay, and same thing. Now, when you're eating, you might get a big chunk of green onion, and so you might not like that. Again, it's as you like it, per your taste. You want to be really careful cutting it, especially when you're cutting lengthwise, whatnot, okay. And same thing here, slowly and gently. Watch your fingers, cutting lengthwise. Boom. Okay, there we go. Actually, this is too thick over here, so boom. All right, there. Some variation. Oops. And so it looks like that. Ta-da. And finally, ginger. So now ginger, with this beef chow fun, you don't see a lot of places using ginger. You see a lot more places using onions. So what I'm doing is the historical version. Yeah, so the version where it's really chive based, and even the ginger is a flair for me. Something like, now it could be overpowering, so you might only want to do like 2 slices, for example, and that's enough. Other people or other folks, you know, the second time you make it or third time you make it, you say, hey, you know what, let me add some more ginger, and you know, or you're using more meat, so you want to be mindful of that. So in that case, because I'm using, I do like to taste the ginger, so I'm going to put all 4 of these slices. Actually, I'm going to make this thinner right here. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Ta-da! All right, so what do we have here? We have, and of course, that. This is that. Bean sprouts. So let's go through what we have. I have my soaking noodles. Okay. I have the marinating beef, aromatics, and bean sprouts. So as I said earlier, I'm going to still need 2 tablespoons, or 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce and a tablespoon of dark soy sauce. Now, if you don't have light or dark, you can just use the one and start with just 1 soy sauce, and you know, taste it. And if it needs more of the umami, then of course, or the salts, then you know, add more of the soy sauce if you have a universal soy sauce. Okay, but this again, this recipe, it has some variation. So there's my 2 tablespoons I'll set aside, and I'll need that for later when we're actually cooking. So now that I prepare everything, as you can see, that was super fast. I am going to try to loosen up my noodles. Here's where I'm going to need to drain this, and this is where I have this. If you don't have one of these things, a colander, don't worry about it. You can, you know, you can always do by hand, or if you've already prepared it, like per the package, if you're using dry noodles, you can set aside, let it dry a little bit. Okay, so there we go, there we go, there we go. Good stuff. And all I'm going to do is take it and put it here. Okay, I'm going to dump out the water. dump out the water. And then I'm just going to try to break it apart, try to loosen it. So this is as you see, mine is really clumped together. Now, you might get lucky and the noodles that you prepared aren't as clumped. So this might take a minute, and that's okay. It'll need some more soaking. So I could always actually continue to soak it and then drain it at the last minute. But because this dish is so quick, I wanted to do it sooner. Okay, so as you can see, it's still gonna clump together right here. Let me show you right there. So you will probably have better luck. It's okay, it's okay. Packaged noodles, so the ones you get in the grocery store, you want to get like the pad thai noodles are fine. So as thick or thin as a rice noodles you like, and you prepare it per your package. Okay, so that's good enough for me. And as I cook, I'll be able to break it apart some more. So, shall we then? So that's pretty much it. That is the preparation. Wow. I mean, it took me that long to explain. It was probably because I was like umming and ahhing. Well, you know, it is the weekend, and it's all about chillaxing and whatnot and enjoying the journey. All right, so let's take everything over to the kitchen, and also known as what I like calling the cooking area, and let's get ready to cook. Okay? See you in the kitchen. See you in the kitchen. See you in the kitchen. I said see you in the kitchen. Alright everyone, so here I am in the kitchen, and I put a drop or two of oil. That's probably like a half a tablespoon, if you will. I'm going to turn it to a medium high, and I'm going to move this around. So the first step actually is I'm going to put in the beef. Where's the beef? So I'm gonna let it heat up for about 30 seconds. Where's the beef? Well, the beef was right next to me. And then I actually have a clean bowl or plate ready, because I'm gonna take out the beef because I'm gonna add some other stuff, the aromatics. So it's a little bit different from other recipes because you're adding the aromatics in the second step versus the first step. Okay? So let that heat, and I'm not gonna like move it around, otherwise it's not gonna cook, like it's not gonna heat up. Okay. Here we go. So I have my trusty chopsticks and my beef. You know, if you have tongs, you can do that as well. So I'm just gonna put that in there. I'm not gonna just dump it in. The reason why is I don't want the oil to splatter. So you want to be careful while you're cooking. You want to be careful while you're cooking. I do not know. I've been on this cowboy kick recently. I was talking to one of my coworkers, and I made this whole story about going to going to work with, on horseback, like, people used to do back in the day. So I'm going to remove this, put this in the sink, and I have a clean one ready to go. So I want to brown each side. So it's going to take maybe a minute. Again, it's on medium high right here. Yeah, so we're going to, for some reason I was like, like imagine going to work on horseback back in the day, ride up and be like, hey, you hit your horse up, and you have to like put him in the watering hole. And I had this whole theme where like, oh yeah, she was talking this like really burly cowboy accent sort of thing. She's like, hey partner. She's like, that your horse? I don't even know why I'm talking about a horse right now. But anyway. That's what I do, sometimes at work, right? It's very important to enjoy your work. So if you don't enjoy your work, it might be time to switch it up. So as you can see, it's browning. I'm not flipping them individually because that would take forever. So I'm just stirring. Now you can use your tongs, you can use a spatula. I'm using chopsticks because one, I don't have tongs, and then the spatula for this delicate work might not be the most effective. So it's almost browned. I'm just gonna not stir anymore and just let it sit. And it doesn't have to take long. Like take 10, 30 seconds, because it's gonna cook again. So even if you don't have everything brown, that's all right, because we're gonna dump back in a second. So here I am. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off the heat. And I'm going to put the beef into my bowl. I mean, if I had a bigger cooking area or kitchen, I would be able to just lift the pan and dump it all in. But as you can see, I'm doing it old school style. I don't even know if this is old school. I'm doing a style right here. Okay. So we have that here. Da 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 da. Now, here we go. Wow, that's taking me a while. That's taking me a minute. So, almost there, almost there. And you want to be mindful, because if you're doing this, ideally, you would just be able to, well, you would just be able to lift the pan and just gently pour it into a plate or bowl. Set it aside while everything else is being prepped, if you will. Okay. So here we go. It's okay if I have a little bits in there. It's not you know, it's not a big deal. Okay. So there we go. So it's right here. So that's the beef, and I'm gonna put this aside. And next, I'm gonna turn the heat back on to medium. And so depending on how it looks, you could add a little bit more oil. And I think I will, just a drop. So I'm gonna drop it. Boom. Careful though. Careful. Again, you want to be careful about splatter and whatnot. So move that oil around. Again, medium high. And time for my aromatics. So I had my aromatics in a bowl. So all I'm doing is just putting it all in. Now, if you were lucky enough to sometimes have an ingredient where it's yellow chives, then that actually goes very last. So I'm just going to try to coat it with oil now, and not very long, just like 10 seconds, and you can really smell it. I'm like, wow, that is aromatic. All right, so you see that? Boom. Aromatic. And the next step, I'm going to put my bean sprouts right there and just move it around for another 5-10 seconds. Again, it doesn't take long. Oh wow, would you smell that? And I also had a I had a chive fly off. So you see me like stirring like a crazy guy, or like, you know, like a maniac, if you will. You don't have to do that. So next step is I'm going to take my noodle and just put it right in, and then I'm going to move it gently around. So you can see that my noodles, they don't have the texture I'm quite looking for. But that's okay. Again, there's variation, and as I cook, they'll soften up, if you will. So you want to make sure you prepare the noodles per the package, or you give it a good soak. A good 20-minute soak would be ideal. Wow, this smells great. Okay, so as this is cooking, last step, or second to last step, is the soy sauce. The 2 soy sauces I had, the 2 tablespoons, I'm going to slowly just pour it in. And again, carefully pour it in. Boom. Okay? So we want to mix it. Mix it well. So you want to make sure they have the brown color of the soy sauce really covers all the noodles. Okay? Now again, your noodles might look a lot more sexy than mine. I'm slowly breaking the noodles. Well, when I say breaking the noodles apart, I'm loosening them up as I'm cooking. And this is where the stir is coming. So if you ever had this in the restaurant, you'll probably recognize the coloring now. Again, any of these ingredients you can add more or less of, really to your liking. Okay? And so the noodles are really softening up now. So again, regardless of whether you got the quote-unquote fresh ones, you want to make sure you soak your noodles for an ample amount of time. So mine are actually coming up quite nice because the water that it did absorb is helping loose out those noodles. So the next step, or the final step, is I bring back the beef. What? The beef's back! The beef is back. So I'm going to slowly pour it back in. Now, with the, and all you want to do is just stir it. Stir, stir, stir. Stir, stir. Look at that. Would you look at that? And stir, stir, stir for about a minute or so, because you want your beef to cook, right? Because I only browned it very lightly. Then, if you like it well done, then during the during the first part, you would cook your beef more. The other thing you want to be mindful of is the type of starch you use. So I use arrowroot starch. You want to make sure you have about the proper ratios, if you will. And it takes some trial and error, but with my recipe, I just did, because of the amount of beef I was using, I was doing for every quarter pound, I was doing a teaspoon of the starch. Okay, so I don't want to burn anything now, so it is. Wow, the beef to noodle ratio is kind of like different. All right, we're done. Thank you so much. Again, it didn't actually have to take this long to cook. I was just chatting with y'all, so ta-da. But here you have it. Ta-da! All right, time to go plates. Time to go plates. Time to plate. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, here we are ready to plate. So as you can see, this is the Beef Chow Fun. It is looking smashingly yummy. So check it out, check that out, check it out. So yummy. All right, so here we go, plating. Plating time. Plating time. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? And so this serves two. Especially if you use more noodles than I did. And there we go. That is the plating. What? I'm not gonna put all of it on because it's gonna overwhelm and like pile up or something. So if you have a look at that, there you have it. Beef Chow Fun. Beef. The good old Beef Chow Fun. Here we go. Da 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 da. So, of course, there's the taste test. Taste test. How does it taste? I don't know. You tell me. All right. Well, again, thank you all for watching. Let's head over to the tasting area and let's give this stuff a taste. What up? All right, and of course, dad joke. What? We can't end this without the dad joke. The dad joke. Hi, I'm back, and it's what time is it? It's time to do the taste test. Here we go. We got the noodles right here, and my chopsticks. And please kids don't try this at home. Like, bring it up to your face, because the plate is hot, and the food's hot too. So. Before we begin, the taste test is drum roll. Boop, 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 boop. That's not a drum roll, it's a boop boop thing. I don't know what that is. So, time for a dad joke. So, what did the ocean say to the beach? The ocean and the beach. I don't know if this is actually a beach. I'm just like doing that. What did it say? Well, it didn't say anything. It said nothing. It just waved. All right. I'm just messing around. I gotta have some fun. Live a little. Okay, so time for the taste test. I have my. I'm like, they're chopsticks. I remember chopsticks. If you have a fork, it's cool too. Okay. All right. So you have this. I'm gonna start with a little bit of beef. Okay, actually, I'm gonna do beef and the noodle. Okay, if I can get the two. Wow. All right, that's I got beef and a noodle. That was amazing. The noodles are really, really tender, and oh, there's a big piece of beef. I always take a big bite. I don't know why. I'm glad I used the skirt steak. it has an extra textural element to it. So I recommend using soy sauce if you have it available. But again, if not, flank and the other cuts of meat work well too. The other thing, wow. I like ginger, so I guess I could add a little more ginger. I thought I was going overboard with 4 slices, but I've seen people like put a lot. Now, if you order this in the restaurant, you'll see a lot of the restaurants actually have instead of ginger, they have yellow onion or white onion or some sort of like onion, if you will. And the reason behind that is actually, you know, ginger can be, you know, it's a strong flavor or strong taste. So not many people can handle the ginger. So my variation, of course, has the ginger in it. And of course, if you're one of the fortunate ones to be able to find yellow chives, put that right after the beef and then stir. Now, you know, from end to end, and you know, really it only takes about 10 minutes to make this dish. The longest part is the prep time. The cooking is really quick, and you want to be mindful that you don't overcook your noodles as well. I lucked out. Actually, is it luck or is it skill? What? My noodles, you know, they came out great. The soaking is a key to it. Again, if you have packaged noodles, go ahead and prepare it per the package, minus whatever packets they have. You're just preparing the noodles, of course. Or if you even have more time without actually even boiling, you can just soak it. If you've had like 20 minutes to just soak, that'll work too, because when you do go and cook, it'll actually cook within, well, you know, within the frying pan, if you will. Yeah, wow, that was really tasty. I'm gonna go back to eating, so please, you know, if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. I will see you. I don't know what this is. Thanks again. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. All right, it's one of those weeks, right? It's one of those weeks. Cheers.